Hey everyone, I hope you're doing good. Adam here. It's a beautiful Saturday here in sunny Charlotte, North Carolina, and thought I'd hop on here and make another video. For those of you that don't know, my name's Adam. I used to make videos about chronic illness, and then I stopped because I was in a good place and kind of wanted to move on from that, but had been experiencing a flare for the last 10 days of my vestibular migraine and POTS issues, and just wanted to make some videos. I think A, because these videos are really helpful for me, but B, hopefully they help other people as well. I have really kind of taken the whole weekend off. I had a commitment on Sunday that I went ahead and canceled. I was supposed to run sound somewhere and let the person know that I wasn't going to be able to do it. The person's a really good friend, and that's something that I'd kind of forgotten about with chronic illness is, you know, sometimes in doing what you need to do to take care of yourself, you have to disappoint other people. And so it never feels good to tell somebody, hey, I know I said I would do this thing, but I'm not going to be able to do it. But I went ahead and did that this week, and thankfully the person's a friend, and they were extremely charitable and kind of on my team. You know, they're very supportive, and so I was very thankful. But even still, that's not an easy thing to do. So really just kind of trying to take the weekend to get centered and reset a little bit and start to establish some good habits. I feel pretty symptomatic today. I would say I'm kind of probably like a 6.5 or a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. Got up this morning and drank some coffee, which I think I'm gonna have to give up, which is a bummer. I gave coffee up for a really long time when I went through my really bad season of vestibular migraines about 7 years ago, and I was hoping I wouldn't have to do that this time, but it definitely increased my head pain, which was a bummer. So, but did some things around the house this morning, and then actually went on a walk with my daughter to the grocery store, even though I didn't feel amazing, which was good. I was glad to get outside, and I think you have to balance those things. You know, it's like I want to rest, but I also don't want to be cooped up in the house all day, and the fresh air is good. And so going out and doing that and getting to spend the time with my daughter was worth it, and I don't feel like I'm paying for it too much. But a really interesting thing is when I got to the grocery store, my symptoms just were like a 9. And that is something that I hadn't really remembered last time. I always felt like I was at kind of a 9. And so it didn't matter if I was in the grocery store or not in the grocery store. I just felt bad, but which is actually encouraging to me this time, because I think it means that I'm not in the same place that I was in the last time I really went through this at the onset of my symptoms. But man, the fluorescent lights were brutal, and I just got kind of woozy and dizzy, and I even feel it in my body a little bit right now talking about it, but just like a lot of head pain, a lot of head pressure, which was really interesting, a lot of ear pressure. It's like all those fluorescent lights were just killer. And it's an older grocery store too. And so it's like old school fluorescent lights. So I feel like maybe it was even a little worse. And then once I left, I feel like that kind of calmed down a little bit. But that was really interesting. So I got home, and I started to kind of quickly feel better once I got home. I think once I was out of that environment, the symptoms started to dissipate a little more. And then that brings me to the next thing that I wanted to talk about is I have this device. I have it right here. It's called a Pulsetto, and it's a vagus nerve stimulator. And and I did want to address this. I realize saying that this is the first flare I've had in 4 years actually isn't totally accurate. I remembered about a year ago, I dealt with something similar. It wasn't quite this bad, but I bought this device when I was going through that. It's actually, it's this right here. It's called a Pulsetto, and it's a vagus nerve stimulator. And actually, before all this happened, I'd been using it a little bit, but I've been doing like the stress reduction setting on it, or like the burnout setting, because I have been in a pretty high stress season, but I did the pain setting on it today. So typically when you do the other ones that I've done, they're like 5 to 7 minutes, but this was 20 minutes, and it was really interesting. It's like you put it on your neck, you put a little bit of gel on there, and you put it on your neck like that, and it stimulates your vagus nerve. And I did it for 20 minutes, and it was kind of short-lived, but I did feel a reduction in my head pain. So that's a tool that I'm going to incorporate into my toolkit if I like have real intense pain and I just need a break from it. But I'm also going to get in the habit of doing it. They recommend that you do it twice a day. And so I'm going to start doing that pain setting twice a day and see how that works. So that was really cool. Also, when I got home from the grocery store, I made some overnight oats, and I bought a couple other like anti-inflammatory things at the grocery store. So last night, I think food is like a big comfort item for me. So like I've never been like super overweight or anything like that, but I definitely like eat too much, and food is a comfort item for me. And I kind of fell in that trap last night. I think I was maybe feeling a little stressed out and ate a bunch, and I feel like that I feel like eating right now, like eating a lot is a trigger for me, and eating late is a trigger for me too. And then eating really carb heavy foods can also be a trigger for me. So the overnight oats, well, I guess I'm really going to try and just dive into like just eating better and kind of managing my diet more. The overnight oats are kind of carb heavy, but they're more healthy than a lot of what I've been eating. So I think I'm going to really try to cut out some carbs. But I came home and I made those. I put like oat milk and oats and chia seeds and flax seeds and blueberries and honey in it. And I did have a little bit of a headache after I ate those. Well, and you're probably thinking to yourself, they're overnight oats. This is the most boring YouTube channel ever. I am going to be shocked if any of you have made it. I'm literally talking about oats. They're called overnight oats though. So I made them and I let them sit for about 2 hours, and then I ate some, and they were pretty good. I also had rice cakes with avocado on them, and they were pretty good. So, yeah, guys, sorry I'm boring you so bad, but it is what it is. Like I said, in a lot of ways, guys, this is for me, but hopefully you get something out of it too. So anyway, I'm trying to eat better. That brings me to another thing is I'm really trying to, in this season, like approach things with a sense of curiosity and not a sense of judgment. And so when I do something like eat too much food and it makes me feel bad, I'm not being hard on myself about that. I'm just saying, oh, that's interesting data. You probably shouldn't do that again. Or if I have a new symptom, I'm trying not to judge it. I'm trying to just be like, oh, that's interesting. What's going on? What might be causing that? And just not, I'm trying to do that, because when I approach it with a sense of curiosity, I feel like I can gather data from the things that I'm experiencing that might help me to deal with this better. It's useful information that I can use to heal. But two, I'm not trying to add any extra stress to my plate that doesn't need to be there this time around. 7 years ago when I went through this, I literally felt like I was losing my mind. And my wife reminded me of that the other day, that I literally said that to her on more than one occasion, like, honey, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I am so not there this time, and I'm so not going to go there. And I'm not interested in adding any stress to my nervous system that doesn't need to be there. Now, that's easier said than done, right? But I'm going to do everything I can to do that. So, like, if I have a symptom, that symptom's going to be there whether I freak out about it or not. So I'm just not going to freak out about it. And I'm going to choose to approach it with a sense of curiosity rather than the judging it. Or like, if I have a really bad day, that just is what it is. I'm not saying there's not grief that's going to come with that, but I'm just saying I'm pretty committed. I literally don't have the energy to make this worse than it needs to be. And so I feel like approaching things with a sense of curiosity rather than judgment does that. So pretty excited about that. And just thankful that I'm in that place this time around. And something else that I was thinking about, and this is the part I think that's, I say this is for me. This is for me in a lot of ways, but I really want this to be helpful for anyone that's watching. Like I said, it's a miracle if you're still watching, because this is like the world's worst YouTube channel. But one benefit that I have is that I've already gone through this before, and my brain was telling me that I was never going to get better, but I did. And not only did I get better, probably 3 years into all this, I was thriving. I'm still thriving. I just feel like dog shit, but it's not going to be like that forever. And the point for you is, if your brain is telling you that you're never going to get better, that's not necessarily true, right? I think we have to challenge those beliefs. And I'm here, I'm living proof. I felt like I was never going to get better, and I did. And while I'm having a relapse, I think that I have hope that I'm going to get better again. I don't know what that looks like. And I'm not trying to be toxically positive either. But I have so much faith that this can get better. And for those of you who this feels impossible, I have so much faith that it can get better too. I remember this one girl telling me in a Facebook group one time, I need to find the comment and thank her, because I feel like this was really formative for me, but, or really, I don't know if that's the right word, but it was really impactful. She just said hey, I thought that I would never be better. And now I'm helping coach my son's flag football team, and I'm running backwards down the sideline, exerting a ton of energy, yelling instructions to all these kids. And I just thought that was so cool. So that has been my experience, even though I'm having a flare right now. I had 4 years of feeling amazing, and I know that I'll get back there again, and I'm confident that you can too. So another thing that I'm trying to accept is just that while what I just said is true, it might take time. So I feel when I look at the last 6 months of my life, it's been particularly stressful in my business, and just really, in a lot of ways, the last year has been really stressful. Around the time that and this is part of what I remembered when I had that small flare a year ago, my wife and I had just lost a baby, and so, that was obviously really hard. And then we've had some unexpected staffing changes at our business, and we've, had challenging employee situations that we've had to deal with, and just the stress of being a business owner and a parent and all that kind of stuff has taken a lot out of us. And, I maybe have felt a little bit of guilt and shame in this process, because I think in some ways I forgot where I came from, and knowing that I have this predisposition to migraine, and knowing that I have these, that I have vestibular migraine and POTS. It's like, guys, I'd felt so good that I almost forgot that I had those things. But knowing that I have those issues, I have felt some shame, because I wish that I would have managed it better. But my point is that it took me time to get here. It's going to take me time to get better. And I'm trying to accept that too, because I think that that's going to make this healing journey a little easier. I'm trying to kind of hold the timeline with open hands. And for me, that just means that there really isn't a timeline. So that's really all that I want to talk about today. One thing, I'm going to try and read a little more. Thankfully, I feel like my vestibular migraines are to the point where I can't read or anything like that. I know some people's are, but one thing that really helped me last time, and that's helped me ever since, I've kind of discovered it just in every aspect of my life, is Stoicism. And so there's this book, it's called The Beginner's Guide to Stoicism. And it's by Matthew J. Von Natta. And I've marked this book up. I put those little things in there that mark the pages, book darts or whatever they're called. And I feel like Stoicism is a really good framework for dealing with challenging situations in life. And essentially the premise is we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it. So I thought, given what I'm dealing with right now, that this would be a timely read. And so I'm going to dig back into this, and I think it's going to be really good. And I will link this for you guys so that you can also, so that you can also read it, because I think it would be very beneficial. Let me know if you've read anything in the comments that's helpful for you in your journey. Also, we got a new chair today, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to take a picture of it right now, and I'm going to post it. And you'll see the book that I just dropped right there too. So, all right. Thanks everyone for listening. Like I said, I'll be shocked if any of you made it if you made it this far, let me know in the comments. Comment world's worst YouTube channel in the comments if you made it this far. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great day. Bye.